Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back, everyone. This may be a rhetorical question, but I'm going to ask it, and there's a reason. Do you want abundance in your life? Success, wellness, to be healthy? Your life is just moving along in the direction you want it to. Your career is great. Your relationships are awesome. Would that be okay if you had all of that? So the question here I want to pose, are you practicing gratitude? What does that mean? Many of us don't even have that answer. We're going to talk about that today. She offers personal and professional coaching and counseling, and this is just a part of what she offers to your success and wellness. She's Dr. Joanne White, and she's back with us again today. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you doing, Steve?
I am grateful that you joined us once again.
And I am thankful and grateful and happy to be here. And thanks again.
It's all about gratitude and grace. And it's been said that this can, in a very major, profound way, move your life forward. I'm not 100% sure how it works. I have some ideas and theories, but I would love to hear yours. So please.
Okay. So oftentimes we look at what we don't have in our lives, and we spend a lot of time, a lot of energy on what's missing. Yet turn it around a little bit and look at what you do have. Look at the fact that you're alive. I mean, that's a blessing, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Look at the fact that you have relationships, that maybe you have a home, that you have food on the table, little things that we don't really think about, oftentimes that we take for granted. I have a little quick story about that. Years ago, I had a woman come into my office, and she was very unhappy and was not happy about her life at all. And I asked her a few questions. I said, "How did you get here?" She said, "I drove here." I said, "And well, how did you get into my office?" "Well, I walked." I said, "Okay. And do you have a family?" "Yes, I have a great husband and loving kids." "And do you love your family?" "Yeah." So we talked about all of this, and it was about recognizing what she did have. Her car was brand new. She had a beautiful home. She loved her family, and yet there was a feeling of something missing. So we talked about it, and about a day later, she called me up, Steve, and she said, "I thought about our session, and I really feel so grateful about what I do have. Again, we are missing certain things, but where is the focus? Where is the emphasis?" Now, I work with energy. And where we put our attention, where we put our focus, where we put our energy is what we bring into our lives. So why not focus on what you do have with gratitude?
Energy flows where the attention goes.
I love that. Yes.
Right? And truth be told, before I left today, I filled out my gratitude journal.
Beautiful.
Just three things every single day. I try to also go a little bit deeper and include how it makes me feel instead of just saying I'm grateful for, and actually I wrote a cup of tea today because it as one of my three things. It doesn't have to be big. Yes, when you start doing this, you're going to say I'm grateful for my kids and my family. Absolutely. Absolutely. But there's other things in life that you can be grateful for. And
my coffee.
Holding the
cup. Be without my coffee.
Holding the cup right now. And that's a great example. And in your mind, tell me how you go with this, but in my mind, you might write down, I'm grateful for this cup of coffee because it makes me feel satisfied, makes me feel like I'm treating myself. Do I need the, caffeine? I go actually half and half. I don't really need the caffeine. This is my little, give back, $3 give back to me. And I'm grateful for the growers, the people who package it, maybe the barista, depending on the store, and all of that. It doesn't have to be these major things every single day that you put in your gratitude journal. Does that make sense?
Not at all. And actually, what gratitude does, as you just talked about it, it uplifts us. It
Yeah.
makes us feel more joyful and feeling good about our day. My coffee, yes, it gives me a little bit of energy. I do half and half too, like you do,
Hmm.
but it's a way of feeling good about my life. And those little things, that, like you said, it doesn't have to be large, but those little things that we have can be so very precious.
Hmm.
Now, years ago, I had an injury and I wasn't able to really help myself and the doctors, no offense on medical doctors or whatever, but I wasn't getting the support and the attention that I needed. And so I looked for alternative ways because I couldn't walk, I couldn't stand, I couldn't move. I was really feeling incapacitated. And I started to research alternative ways of healing myself, which really did help me because I love to dance and I'm still dancing. And I was able to utilize those for myself and then thought, well, if I could do it for myself, why not for others? So I actually got certified in a lot of different modalities. And in retrospect, that pain, that injury, that time, even though it felt like I don't know if I'm ever going to get through this again, helped me move forward and grow and be able to encompass a lot of different things to grow my life and to help others in the same way. So sometimes one more thing. So
Sure.
sometimes when something happens to us, and we feel like, how am I going to get out of it? Or what's the point of it? It can actually open up doors. It may not do so immediately, but it can lead us down a new pathway in our lives.
Having patience. Be honest with you. There's been times where I was like, I don't know about the gratitude journal. I'm just, I'm grateful, of course, but is this really working? And some days have gone by where I haven't circled back to it. But by and large, I believe in it. And I want to know if you believe this, that when you're grateful for things, that the universe rewards you with more good things for you to be grateful for.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about energy. So the more emphasis, the more energy you put into gratitude for big or small things in your life, the more of those things you bring into your life and the more ways that you can feel grateful. So I totally believe in it, and I see it enacted not only in my life, but in other people's lives in a beautiful way.
What's the difference between gratitude and grace?
Okay. So oftentimes grace is about sometimes recognizing that we make mistakes and or other people make mistakes, and rather than getting belligerent and angry and it's about giving them a little bit of grace, understanding where they're coming from. Forgiveness is a huge piece of that. And I feel that they go together because the more grace that we can give to someone, including ourselves, and that's key, the more gratitude we could feel, and vice versa. When we feel gratitude in our lives, we exhibit more grace not only to ourselves but to other people as well. And that's a beautiful thing.
Hmm. I got you on that. And
Okay,
I'm in a
good.
place in my life recently, and this is, a side note.
Hmm.
We're in a, if you look at astrology, Venus retrograde,
Oh yeah.
Mercury retrograde begins in like a week and a half, change, whatever.
Right,
Um,
right.
I find myself, and this is just personally, I have lots of patience, but my patience is a little bit shorter. And like, something could have been discussed. It's clear. Component A, B, C, D, it's all right there. It was in an email. This is what we discussed. And then you'll get an email or a text and it's completely off. Like what? And you look at it like, what the heck did we just talk about? But and right away it's like, really? But it's deep breath.
Breathe. Yes, breathe. And again, think about how you would feel if you were that other person who maybe made a mistake or wasn't clear about whatever, and you got real and somebody
Frustrated.
put right, but somebody would push them with anger. How would that make you feel? That wouldn't make you feel good.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. And it's not going to move things any better anyway.
Right. But oftentimes we can do that for other people, but we're so hard on ourselves.
Hmm.
So it's so important to also give ourselves grace. And again, we make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. It's just part of who we are, part of life. We're far from perfect. I always say we're perfectly imperfect and imperfectly perfect, and that's okay. But give yourself a little bit of grace so that even though you make a mistake, you can kind of, okay, I did it, but next time I won't. Learn from those mistakes and be able to move forward rather than making yourself angry and not liking yourself and incapacitating yourself so you kind of immobilize yourself. And so many people do that.
I have this mantra, and I own a company, marketing company, do a bunch of different things. But I say to everybody that's involved, we don't make mistakes. We don't make mistakes. Of course we do. But in my mind, if you think that, maybe you'll make less because you're just being a little more detail oriented. Nope, nothing's perfect. Being a perfectionist does not support anyone.
No,
Live
we
that
went
life,
there, right? No.
moved on past that. But you try to do your best. Basically, what your parents probably always said to you.
Yeah, doing our best is fine. And sometimes we don't get there, but it's about striving for that. And that's a beautiful thing. I have another story, and that
Sure.
is like, by the way, I want to tell you that Gratitude and Grace, there's this beautiful anthology book, Mission Hope, Transforming Lives with Grace and Gratitude. My chapter on grace and gratitude is in there.
Mm.
And this story that I'm going to share a little bit is in there too. Years ago, I had some challenges with a friend of mine, really, and I felt that I wasn't able to trust my friend. I would and feeling distance from my friend. And then when I was writing this chapter about grace and gratitude, I realized that it's so important to practice, and I'd love to do that, what I'm writing about and what's important. So even though it seemed hard for me because I didn't know if I could trust, I kind of swallowed and made an appointment with my friend and we talked, even though I was afraid, well, maybe I'm going to get hurt again. But we talked and we healed. And it was a beautiful moment because oftentimes when somebody hurts you, they may be hurting too.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes in retrospect, they realize, why did I do that? Why was I so angry? Why did I say? And it's about that grace piece again, okay? So, yes, we're not perfect. We make mistakes, but the value of learning that actually has increased the relationship, the connection that I have with my friend, and rebuilt our time together and our connection in an incredibly beautiful way. And so I'm very grateful that I wrote this because I got deep into it and realized, well, you got to practice what you're preaching, which I love to do. And that's so important.
Thanks for sharing that. It's an eye opener to what's around us, and I think we get caught up and we're so busy that we don't even take the time. I've gotten, and this is so simple, but there's two words that are some of the most powerful words you could ever use. Thank you.
Yeah.
And what are you doing? You're practicing gratitude. And I try to return every email or start an email, depending on the situation, with those two words. And one could think, well, you're just automatically just saying those words. No, there's always or usually a reason to say them, not even looking for it, just to use them. And what a positive way to start it by saying, thank you for blah, 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 blah. Just wanted to let you know, da, la, 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 whatever.
Yeah. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for our time together. Thank you for the coffee, whatever it is. Thank you for the smiles. Little things like that are so very important. And we also need to thank ourselves. We don't do that enough. I have a little way of doing that when I'm doing something. I say, thank you. And I answer, you're very welcome. Well, thank you. it's kind of fun. It's a funny moment, but it also is a helpful moment. Now you mentioned a gratitude journal, which I think is wonderful. And when we're feeling badly about something we've done or whatever, it's great to look at that gratitude journal and revisit it and see what we have in it. At the same time, it's important to talk with people. At Thanksgiving, people get around the table and everybody is thankful for, talks about it. Why not do that all the time? Why not share gratitude with other people? Talk about it. Talk about what you're grateful for. It actually can enrich that. And again, from that energy perspective, bring more gratitude into your lives, into that connection and into your day.
Mm. It's so impactful. By the way, gratitude journal. Quick note: you can buy them on Amazon, and I looked into it, and I at $25, right? I looked into it. I found one for $8 that gets the job done just as well as the $25 one, if not better. I've actually bought a bunch of them and given them as gifts. And in the gratitude journal, there is, and I'm going to break it down real quick. And you can do this in any, 50-cent dollar notebook if you want to. 3 things you're grateful for. Affirmations. I am, and write 3 things there. What would make today a great day? 3 things there. What, and later in the day, and it's actually, they shade it, so it's later in the day, like evening. There's a section that you enter what would have made today better and your acts of kindness. And it's all there on one page. You put the date at the top, and
Beautiful.
you fill it all in. $8, can't beat it. There's quotes, inspirational quotes at the top of every page. There's a preface section too.
And if you don't want to do that, you can make your own gratitude journal. And
Sure.
and I like the idea at the end of the day, in retrospect, look at that day, see what happened in that day.
Mm.
Pause for a moment and really look at what you're grateful for. Even those little moments of laughter or connecting with someone or something that you accomplished, whatever it is. And again, access more gratitude so that you're doing it in the morning when you wake up,
Mm-hmm.
enjoying your tea or coffee, and then at the end, or whatever you do in the morning, and then at the end of the day, just looking back. Now, what's important is that, yes, there are going to be things in our day, events or whatever, that, again, don't make us feel very good. I'm not saying ignore them or just pretend they don't exist, but I am saying don't put the emphasis
Mm.
on them. You can change them, think about how you can make it better another time or later or whatever. But where you put your emphasis, your energy, your focus, and I mentioned this earlier, is important. So why not do it on gratitude? Why not do it on grace? It will enrich your life. It'll make you feel good. It'll elevate your feelings about who you are, about your life, about other people, and go on and on and on. And that is a beautiful way of being, of living.
And it's a habit. You just do it. It automatically starts happening for you. And the I am statement, I want to share something, and it goes in line with the point you just said. Had a conversation with some people last week, and they said, all right, fill in the blank, I am. And all of their statements were about things that challenge them. I am always feeling not good enough. It was all, call it negative things. And
Right.
we even went around the room. I'm in a men's group, so that's where it came up. And others said the same thing. I am full of fear. I am. And that's where it was going. And they got to me. I said, I'm sorry, I disagree.
Thank you.
I can't do it. I don't want to focus on the negative. Sure, we have that chatter in our heads and there's, things going on there. But no, what am I feeling? Well, it depends on the day, but I am creative. I am resourceful. I am resilient. Guess what? I'm really humble too, but I blank and believe those. Yeah, I really do.
Right. And I am is a very powerful statement.
Yes.
So why not put I am with all the positive things? I am grateful. I am funny. I am whatever it is, and fill it in a beautiful way. I do what I call my power walk in the morning. After my first cup of coffee, I'm out there no matter what. And I have a way of doing gratitude and being thankful, and it sets the tone for the day. And it just helps me. And so it's really important. I it's not, again, you could have a gratitude journal, you could figure out other ways to do it.
Sure.
Do something in the morning, also in the evening, that kind of brings that into focus so that it does enrich your life and enrich the lives of others around you. It's simple. It's not complicated, and
No,
that's the beauty of it too. We can do it, and I'm thankful for being here today.
I'm
I mean,
grateful to have you here.
thank you. We almost didn't get here because of a time challenge, but here we are, and we made it, like you said when we first, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And it was meant to be. That's my belief. And even with the I am statement, I am what I believe I am. So
Yeah.
why not start believing what you really are? And to your point, it's a cliche since you were a kid, I'm sure for all of us.
Mm,
It's the little things in life. It's the little things in life. So we don't put the focus on them, but like the cup of coffee, you take it for granted. No, I enjoy it. It's a little thing in life. Quick, you shared a story. I'm going to hit you up with a very quick story. Last week, in a very quieter weekend intentionally, and I was just in a very, reflective mood. It was just different. Monday morning, a week ago, I get in the car and I'm driving and I'm staring at my steering wheel at the light. And I'm like, I never actually looked at the steering wheel, the craftsmanship, the emblem, how they put it all together. It's like really cool. Wow. In that moment, it transported me back to, I know it sounds freaky, when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, when I was a kid, where I would take the time to look at the little details in life, and I really feel like I was in a time machine for about 4 seconds. Back, it's like I feel like a kid again. Like I'm really like looking at these little dumb, what seem to be dumb things,
they're
but
not really.
they're not because we don't do them. And when you start realizing them, those little things that you maybe take for granted, you're grateful for. And if the universe works in our favor, you get more good things and more good
Right.
things.
Right. And the universe can work in our favor. And again, it doesn't have to be big. It's oftentimes those little things that are so much more precious,
Yep.
because look at that beautiful story that you shared, that make us feel more fulfilled in a wonderful way.
Mm,
And that's beautiful. So it's so important. And again, it doesn't take that much, but it's also important to make sure that you're grateful for your life, for the little things in it, for the people in it that enrich you, and also make sure that you're grateful for who you are. That doesn't mean that you're exactly where you want to be. I believe that our life is a continuous way of growing and evolving, but it also means that you look at who you are, you look at where you've come from and what you've accomplished, large or small, and be grateful for that and grateful for the opportunity to be able to move forward.
mm. Thank you for today. I really appreciate the insight. You dug into gratitude more than I've ever heard done before in such an impactful way that we don't realize, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and thanks for having me on the show.
Want to share with everybody how to reach you, and this is for coaching, moving your life forward, your books, everything that you offer. Great website, by the way.
Thank
How do we find it? It's your name, right?
drjoannewhite.com, and you can email me, joanne@docwhite.org. I'm on social media, and I love to connect with people, and I love to make people smile and feel good about who they are, where they've come, and where they're going, no matter what.
Love it. Thank you so much again.
Thanks, Steve. Take care.
You too. We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.